can't draw a mustache on me.
Unibrow.
Are you ready?
A nose piercing. You should like wear fake body jewelry in this sometimes and see if like anyone picks up on it.
Fake body jewelry?
Like a nose ring.
Yeah, they would pick up on it. All right, and welcome to episode number 16 of the CrossFit Livermore podcast, where eventually I guess I'll be wearing body jewelry.
Just like a nose ring. Eyebrow ring. Well, like a subtle one, so they might not. You have to like, you'll know who watched it. I'm really tired.
Okay. All right. So we're back to our question answer. We have a stockpile of some questions. So you guys have been asking them. If you haven't got around to or if we haven't got around to your question yet, we will soon. We just kind of stockpile them that way. We have a reserve, and then we pick a few. That's how it works. So keep asking. Great job. Thank you for the questions and the support. All right. So shall we start?
So unnecessary.
What?
And the support.
I don't know.
Well, we have a few. So
Okay. Let's get into them.
Let's just start with JD. Who's always just wants that shout out on yours. So JD, here it is. It actually had some good questions though.
Yeah,
one of them was about the rower. He says.
Oh yes.
He says. Do I even get to explain the question, or you just already know? So
go ahead.
Did they get to hear?
They get to hear.
Did the people get to hear?
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He says he feels like he puts a lot into rowing, and even when he's like doing his absolute best, he's hitting like right under the time that you allot us to get it in.
Okay.
Couple different questions here would be, how do you get faster on the rower? Specifically, how does like the rower work on its own, and what are tips on form?
How does the rower work?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, not.
I
like,
think he was talking also too about like the damper setting, right?
Well, that's what I mean. Like the whole, like the machine of the rower. Like what? Like usually on a treadmill, you just press go. That's pretty self-explanatory. But the rower is a little more complex. There's like more to it. Right.
So the first one is dialing in your row stroke and understanding that most of the power comes from the legs and the acceleration through the legs, not necessarily just pulling it harder with your arms. That's not really going to help or make it go that much faster.
I always tell everyone, like, your legs are always going to be stronger than your arms no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
You might as well capitalize on it.
And then there's two parts of this. So the first one is are we trying to get like the 15 calories really quickly in under a minute and then rest? Because if that were the case, putting the damper setting all the way up to 10 would give it more resistance, therefore more power output, which would generate the calorie a little bit quicker. And the reason why I ask which time domain you're working in is because if you're doing like a 2K row or a 5K row, you would probably want the damper setting down below 7 at least, because that one's more about the cadence in the row stroke than it is about the power output. So actually we have this loaded up here on the Debunking the Myths Damper Setting and Stroke Rate. So stroke rate means like how fast you're going back and forth. This is directly from the Concept 2 website. The damper setting of 10 will give you the best workout. That is a myth. Reality damper
False.
Yeah, false. Reality, or the truth, is the damper setting of 3 to 5 is likely to give you the best workout. Often we see indoor rowers set at 10 because the athlete thinks that the higher the number must be, the more challenging, or reward them with a better time. The real challenge is to accelerate the flywheel at a lower damper setting where the power must be applied, in such as in a sleek, fast rowing shell. That is...
It's like a rowing boat thing. It's like a racing rowing boat.
Yeah, that is more advanced than us. A damper setting of 10 is more likely to like a slow, heavy rowboat. It's still a workout, but much more strength and cardiovascular fitness. Keep in mind, the best rowers in the world who compete at the Olympics do not row competitively at a 10. Wow. aim for 3 to 5. So basically, yeah, it's saying like if you're doing like I was saying with the short calorie outburst, where you're just trying to get it quickly and then you rest, having it at 10 will put the more power. But if you're trying to row for that longer cardio workout or the 5K or 10Ks or multiple intervals of 500s, then you need to have that medium damper setting and a great row stroke rate. The stroke rate too should be set right around like a 25 to 26, roughly.
Under 30.
Yeah, so play with it, though. It's suggested...
That's how many strokes you're getting in per minute. It says it on, like, the lower left corner is what we're talking about for the number.
It'll say SM, and then it'll say, like, a slash and then a number. So also, too, when you're rowing, play with it a little bit. Do 100 meters. It recommends do 100 meters at a damper setting of 1, 100 meters at 3, 5, and 7. And that way you can feel the variance of it and determine which one is best for you. So hopefully that... answers that question. That's probably also why you're dying out on the rower if you feel that way, because if you're putting a really high output of power or you're trying to get a high output of power through fast stroke rate with a low damper setting, you're basically running against yourself the whole entire time on both those settings. Cool. All right, that's the rower question. There you go. Boom, making them out. Next one.
Jill.
Water break.
Jill, who comes to the morning classes, said she noticed...
The 8:15 class?
The 8:15 class. She noticed that the workout the other day we did... I don't remember what day it was. Last week. We did back squats for quite a while. I think we was like a 5-rep max.
Yeah.
And then after the workout was like, burpees and double unders or something. And she said she didn't like understand because they didn't really like fit together. Do you have... I was going to be a microphone. Do you have anything to say about that?
Okay, thank you for the fist in the face. I just go out there, give it 110%. Just put my trusted coach. No, sorry. Remember like an athlete getting an interview. Okay, sorry for that rant.
That's not what we say about it, but close.
No, okay. So Jill, to answer your question, what we were going after, the intent of that day was a heavy day, a strength day. I wanted to purposely spend a lot of time on the back squat heavy 5. I wanted time to warm the hips up properly. I wanted the time to cover some key points in the back squat and then give you guys plenty of time to build up to a heavy set of 5. So I paired that because... with the cardio workout, because if I don't pair it with the cardio workout, there's no way. Oh my gosh, could you imagine the complaints?
People would like
that's
burn
not a
this place
workout.
Down.
Wow, that would be intense. But yeah, so I like to put in and make people leave with a sweat. That's what they showed up for. So I just threw in the 10-minute AMRAP, short and sweet but effective. Also, too, you guys could take that one with you.
That day.
Yeah, it was a 10-minute AMRAP of 12 burpees and 36 double unders. Right? Was
Actually,
that
I think that was like
I can't remember
it was like
now.
a week and a half ago. It was on a Wednesday.
You're right. I don't remember the double under to burpee ratio, but I want to say it was
36.
12 and 36.
12 and 36.
So 12 burpees, 36 double unders, 10-minute AMRAP. If you have a jump rope, you could also do that as a travel workout. Real short and sweet.
So that one was good because also it didn't require like a lot of setup or coaching.
Yeah, that's another great point. I forgot to make that point.
Movements.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to, if I wanted you guys to go heavy on a back squat, I wouldn't, and give you a lot of time to do that, I wouldn't want to pair that with another barbell movement, like let's say push press, because then we won't have time to switch movement patterns, cover the push press, warm you up for it, and then also have you do the workout. Like there's just not enough in the hour. So I prioritized, that day we were prioritizing heavy back squat 5, but I still wanted to give you guys time to get a little sweat in. So 10-minute AMRAP of some burpees and jump rope does the trick.
That's a really hard one for some reason.
Yeah, because you go really fast at first and then you realize it's a long 10 minutes.
I mean...
And it's continuously like getting your heart rate up. So
it's just hard.
It's a good one. Yeah. Coming, which also too I have paired up. It's going to be a two-part...
two-part series.
Yeah, not really, I guess, two-part deal, two-part series, yeah. But I'm going to lay out, actually, this week's worth of programming. I wrote them up on index cards and wrote up some things with them so I could show you guys how the week formed and how I decide which workout goes to what, which weight goes to what, and things I'm thinking about when I'm creating the workout for the week.
For the podcast people?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like, it'll be up on the channel, and it'll be actually this week's workouts. So I'll post it up maybe midweek, not to give out to us.
People are going to know before?
They will know before if they watch.
You don't get to just pick the ones that you are good at.
Yeah, well, they got to show up to all of them anyways. They already know that. But it'll be cool because you guys could kind of see how I formulate the week or what I think about. And then the second part to that series will be the bigger picture, how I look at it from month to month to month. So that might be cool, or it might be totally stupid and you won't like it at all. I don't really know. Depends how into workouts you are.
Are we still doing that workout on Saturday? Is that part of it?
The challenge one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can announce that then here?
I guess we can, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So on your programming, maybe this week was built about the workout on Saturday because it was something that we knew we wanted to
Yeah, it wasn't.
get in.
I actually forgot about that, but it'll work with this week's worth of stuff.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Well, if you did the weight loss challenge, the first thing we did back, it was the end of January, whatever day that was.
Yeah.
The first thing we did on the day when you guys got your teams was a 50 cal row, 10 burpees, 40 wall balls, 10 burpees, 20 thrusters, in case you somehow forgot. We were going to retest that one and see not only your weight loss, but how your fitness level increased over those 8 weeks. But then we got stuck on the mile, and everyone was doing so good, we wanted to focus on that week instead. So, coming back at ya on Saturday is that challenge workout again. So
now they're really going to avoid that workout because you told them on Sunday night. But yeah, okay. So we're going to redo that workout.
It's everyone's favorite stuff.
Anyways, let's get jamming next.
No, let's talk about this.
Oh, all right. Okay.
It says it kind of there. So you can meet, we'll post some stuff about it, but it'll be a fun time to re-meet up with your teams. Kind of be able to cheer for each other, and then we do have your scores from the last time that you did it, so you'll be able to compare those, and everyone else can do it too, because it's super fun. What should I talk about now?
The next question.
Would you like to pick? Seem to be bossy
Oh my
today.
gosh, no, we're just on a time limit a little bit here.
Steve Lopez asked about rest intervals in the workout. We're on time limit. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, so Steve asked why there was forced rest, meaning on Monday's workout we had an allotted time, 7 minutes to do some running and some wall balls. Oh, you're excited. Some running and some wall balls, and you had to fit the workout in that allotted time. And there was also a scheduled 2-minute rest afterwards, but the allotted time gave you enough time to finish to where you rest, and then there was forced rest.
Yes.
With another 2 minutes. Sometimes we'll also do that. We had a workout a couple Saturdays ago, the Chief, where it was 3 minutes on and then a 1 minute rest, I believe, with a 3 minute on. So that one too, with the forced rest, what it is it's just working your recovery system. It's can you go hard, rest, and then go hard again? Like how well does your body recover in that 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever the rest period may be, and then how much can you sustain that pace as the intervals increase in duration, interval 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I like those ones because it lets you focus on keeping your intensity really high. You're not looking at 20 minutes and being like, oh boy, how do I game plan this? You only really have to focus on 2 minutes at a time, and then you're going to get a chance to catch your breath.
Yeah, it's easy to compartmentalize it.
I like that.
Cool, that's good.
And then just our last question, but it kind of, I guess, goes to me a little bit more.
Okay, do you want me to read it?
Okay.
What'd you write?
Kind of like that. He just wants to know about that.
Macros websites. What is it? Formula. This one comes from Jade. Hold on, let me frame it up.
Okay, try that again.
I might take your job.
Okay.
Our next question comes from JD. He asked about macros.
Probably won't take my job.
Websites. Macros websites as in one word? Okay, why don't you just...
Does it say it like one word, or does it have a little period between the middle of them? So, JD... This is kind of like a super broad thing to talk about, but just for some people that know a little bit more, maybe some people know it a little bit less, a very common thing now is to track your macros when talking about nutrition. Your macros are your 3 macronutrients, which are...
Lucky Charms. No. Sorry, I zoned out. Did you ask me what my favorite food was?
No.
Protein, fat, and carbohydrates.
Yes. So those are the 3 main sources of which our body gets food. He wants to know about like websites that help you track your macros. I think the most common one is MyFitnessPal. It's free. You can pay to upgrade it as always, but it lets you be careful with the formula that it comes with, the standard formula. That's kind of like a one size fits all kind of thing. I think it breaks it down usually to about 30% of your day from protein, 30% from fat, 40 from carbohydrates, which is a good base to start with on that, but just don't take the generic website for everything, that it...
Yeah, you want to set it up for your specific needs.
Yeah. So,
and if you're... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, so just macros in general, and he wanted to know kind of the formula on how you do it. For each person, that's going to vary because my needs are different from Matt's, are different from... your mom's, are different from like anything. So
right.
How anyone will help you with it is the first thing you start off with is protein. Depends on kind of what your goals are. If you're like an athlete that's working out a lot, we wanted about 1 gram per pound of body weight. That depends again, but protein usually needs to be higher than most people think. Then from that we take fat, and we take usually about 30% of your daily calories should come from fat. And then within the remaining calories that we think is good for you as an individual, that gets made up in carbohydrates after. So that's kind of like the easy way to break down what is most important and kind of how that formula comes together.
Yeah, and that's just like a broad, like, general look at it because there's so many factors. It's like body weight, right? Like height, like the goal of your purpose, like the level of your exercise throughout the day.
Your lean body mass versus,
Yeah, like there's a lot of different factors that go into it. So
how much lifting you do, how much you've been doing this for, how
how long you've been doing things. Yeah.
I think, but the takeaway from macros, which is very helpful for people, is tracking your food, writing down your food, whether it's in an app, whether it's in a note on your phone, whether it's whatever you do. It's tracking to know what you're putting in your body every day and having something to be accountable for. So looking back at those numbers and being like, oh crap, I already ate, way too much fat today. I should probably try to tone it down after dinner. But it just comes back to being accountable with anything. So having those numbers to be accountable to. Yeah,
and people like that with like the app and the phone. It makes it easy to like stay engaged. And also too, the MyFitnessPal, like it's got the little barcode scanner too.
It's super cool, yeah. You can look up pretty much any food and it gives you the breakdown of it. And I'm talking like even like Costco pizza. Like they have everything.
Well, yeah, because they have so many users. And once people start putting it in,
you can put in like pretty much anything,
really large
like any
database.
kind of bar, and then if you don't care to explain, type it all in for what you have specifically, there's a little button on it and you can scan your barcode and then it comes up with the information just from that. Fascinating. I'm sure there'll be like plenty more on the market within the next like 5 years too. Oh yeah. That'll be like pretty soon you'll just take a picture of your food and then it'll just tell read you the whole plate and the breakdown. Numbers on what it is. Yeah, absolutely. So cool. It'll happen. I think some like 13-year-old kid that worked at Google like developed it actually. But it'll take a little bit before it becomes like super accurate. Okay, anyhow, far above the scope of this show. Yeah, we're definitely not inventing no food reading apps. All right, so that pretty much ends the week. We'll have some cool stuff. As you saw, this one demoed elbow rotations and Romanian deadlifts. So click the things above to check that out. That's in this one? No, it's already loaded on there as a barbell warm-up. There's a whole second thing. Yeah, so we'll start putting out more and more like technique things. I'm trying to film them like a little bit differently so that way they're a little bit more fun and engaging rather than just like us standing there similar to this, but with the movement. And soon maybe we can get like gymnastics ones on there for people that always have those questions. Yeah, that's next on the list. We already have a few on there and we'll do a few more. Cool. All right, fantastic. And bye. And then it just